Hey y'all. I don't even know how to begin a video. Like, what are we talking about here? I really don't know where to start. I will just say that I am 31. I'm exploring what my 30s looks like. 20s was like very I want to say like half ghetto, half ratchet, half me doing my thing and proving to myself what I needed to prove as far as just being like an independent woman. Exploring this new life. I definitely have come to a different type of understanding about what I want in life in my 30s. Of course, in contrast to like my 20s and what I thought that I wanted. And I still probably don't know what I want, but I think that I do. I don't really know. I feel like I'm just figuring it out. And with this new mindset, I just want to document everything just to show my growth and my journey to myself, really. Because in between like my 20s and things like that, I feel like I definitely have went through so much in life, and like life can catch up with you so fast that you kind of, get lost in just the rapture of all of that. And I will say that let me get myself comfortable. Let me get comfortable because I'm talking to my people. Hold on. Let me get myself together so I could withstand the duration of what I need to say, because I am very long-winded. That's one thing that y'all must know about me, is that I'm a rambler, I'm a talker, I'm a yapper. So you're going to have to just put your good ears on and listen, because I am going to flow into many different dimensions as I just let my thoughts come out authentically, really. This is like no script, off the dome type vibe. So what propelled me to do this, and what's propelling me to do this, is really myself and God, first and foremost. But the motivation behind it and the fuel behind it is like all the people that are around me, who are supporting me, who want to hear what I have to say, because I was the type of person who didn't think that no one cared about, what I had to say, or like what my life looked like, or what the journey looked like. And sometimes going through life is really embarrassing, just because, there's ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and people always just want to show like what the good looks like and not really the downs. And I am the type of person to where, like, I've documented like parts of my life throughout my life, but I just haven't put it out there because, of course, you want to keep those things hidden because you don't want anybody to have nothing to say about you. But at the end of the day, I really do feel like God is calling me, as He has been calling me, to share my testimony as far as just where I'm at in life now, where I've been, and just the different things that have made me and brought me to this point in my life, and further in the future stages of my life, whatever brings me to those points. I just want to bring, myself and others along with this journey with me, just to break it down and figure it out, and just, make sense of it all, pretty much, really. I will say that the other day I was talking to my friend, and I pretty much was just like pouring my emotions and my thoughts out to her, because in general, I have been, documenting my life for about like 20 years now. I ended up showing her this video of myself and my friends back in middle school, actually. And that is also kind of like what propelled me to take on this consistent journey that I am about to run on with you guys, with just documenting and just talking about my thoughts, because people actually do care, and people actually are listening, and we all are sharing similar experiences in this generation, day and age. And the video pretty much was just me vlogging my life, and like talking and doing all of the things that I really genuinely love to do. And the point of me saying that is because when you're growing up, and as life happens to you, as you become an adult, a lot of the times you do lose your passions and what you love to do. And I told my friend, like, when I was growing up, the only thing that I really like could say growing up that I said that I wanted to be, as far as like a career or what I see myself doing, was a veterinarian. And I feel like that's very common, like especially for people who like love animals. And I definitely am one of those people. Like, I had a lot of animals growing up, but it wasn't anything like a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or this or that, you feel me? I feel like as time went on and I discovered myself, and I was just, again, like recording myself in middle school and like taking pictures and like doing the whole thing, like MySpace era and things like that, I didn't know how to say that I wanted to just be myself and get paid for being myself, because I didn't think that was like attainable. And especially like back then, during that time when all of our parents did was like go to work and have a job and things like that. It was just like not realistic. And so I didn't really try to push myself to figure those things out, especially when, like, you know, my parents and like my family members were just like, you know, when my parents and my family members and stuff like that were just like, you know, you really just need to get a job and go to work. And I feel like when, you know, you aren't pouring into the things that your kids are like passionate about, or like trying to discover with them, like what's going to work for them, because everybody is different, it kind of hinders them and it kind of discourages them. And I feel like that's what kind of happened to me, in a sense, to where like technology was obviously becoming more important for me, and like my parents and the people in my family were not really as supportive of that, because we didn't know what the future looked like as far as now with technology. So it was kind of one of those things like, well, if you want to get money, you got to work, you feel me? And I feel like that's the route that I ended up taking, just for the simple fact that me personally, I moved out at 18. I thought that was the thing to do, because that's what my mama was telling me growing up. Like, oh, you're gonna get out of my house, and you know, I'm not taking care of nobody grown. So in my mind, I just thought that I had to get a job so I could move out at 18, because that's what I was like, you know, told and taught, pretty much. And I'll dig deeper into that on another video, but pretty much saying all that to say that like I lost my passion. And in the same sense, I didn't know how to explain that. I just wanted to get paid to be myself, because I didn't know what that looked like, because I didn't see it unless you were like an entertainer, a rapper, a stripper, something of that sort, you know, something involving entertainment. And I just didn't know to go that route. And so now, here at 31 years later, and that is the reality of what the world looks like right now. You get paid for like being yourself. I'm really just trying to dive back into finding myself in this space, especially now that it's so oversaturated. In my attempt to do this for the 50 million thousandth time, I want to say, because along this journey as well, as far as just finding myself and figuring out how I'm going to get paid to be myself, I always figured that I needed other people. Like, I always wanted to do it with someone else. Like, so many different times I tried to start a podcast, so many different times I tried to make content with people, because I'm like, I need someone else, because no one just wants to sit here and hear me yap. But at the end of the day, now that I have more of a support system with different type of people that are in my life now, who are encouraging my personality type, and who are encouraging just me being myself, they have made me realize that I actually don't need anyone, and I just need me and this microphone and you guys watching, who just want to hear what I have to say. I have came so far with just life, I feel like, and I have in some sorts gotten trapped within the, I don't know, why would that car sound like that? Like, that should just piss me off. As I am older at 31, let me just say this here. As I am older at 31, things irritate me very much more than they did before. Like, I am very noise sensitive. So just random noises, or like loud noises, or just unnecessary noises, it just irks the fuck out of me. Like, why would that car be passing by like that? Especially when I'm making a video. Like, one thing about it, for right now, y'all are going to be hearing a lot of car and street noise, because I live literally on a busy street. My window is right here next to it, and I can't escape it unless I close the window. And I don't want to close the window, because I want to be able to breathe and get this sunlight. So with that being said, anyway, back to what I was saying. You see what I'm saying? This is why I told y'all to open y'all ears, because when I start, I'm telling you, when I start, I don't stop, and it gets to going so many different places. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna end these videos and where I'm gonna end them at, and we gonna figure it out together. Just know, work with me, vibe with me, grab a seat, sit down, you feel me? Don't go nowhere, because y'all need to watch me figure it out. Ooh, excuse me. Y'all need to watch me figure it out, because I'm gonna get there. I just need to work out the kinks. And like, this is again in pertaining to what I was saying earlier. Like, since I stopped doing what I was passionate about, and I stopped making videos and just yapping and recording myself talking, just venting and just whatever it is that I wanted to say and putting it out there, you know, like, again, I'm starting from ground zero and scratch yet again. And I'm starting in my 30s to discover like what this looks like in this type of time, you feel me? Because 17 years ago, when I was in middle school doing it, it still was just so raw and authentic, and that's still the case. But now within this time period, it's just so very different, as far as like you have to have so many different things to like catch people's attentions. And you know, all of us got some sort of form of self-diagnosed ADHD, and just keeping people's attention spans and interests and stuff like that. It's like back then you really just be yourself and hope for the best, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays you got to come up with like all type of different like things to keep people, you know, wrapped into whatever it is that you have going on. And I just really want to find my community, as far as people who just like-minded conversations and just like to hear what I have to say. I don't really know how much I can stress that, because again, my whole thing and my whole knowing of my purpose is just to be myself. And I know that I have the personality and I have the like grit to withstand the endurance of this journey. I just need to be consistent with it and not let life continue to keep stopping me, as far as, oh, I need to stop because it needs to look like this, or oh, I need to stop because it needs to look like that. And it's just like, no, it doesn't need to look like anything but what I'm making it look like, because this is my actual real life. This is really raw and uncut, like, you know. So yeah, that's my TED Talk on that. I definitely am going to get more better at just talking about one specific topic. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm not. I was going to say that I was going to get better at talking about one specific topic. I think I am, though, to some degree, because of course, like, me going on side quest rants is just me. But just to hone in on certain specific topics, just so we can keep the lure of everything that comes to my mind. Because when I get too sporadic, I know that since you guys aren't talking back to me, it might be a little like, what the fuck is going on here? But I want to keep it consistent, as far as just the topics go, for sure. So like I said, bear with me, kick back, relax, and watch, and I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, I don't know, I haven't figured out an outro yet, so again, bear with me.